books and more books. We will be talking about writing. We will be talking about what we are reading. Welcome to Best the Bookworm, a channel that's all about books. Welcome back to another video. I am Bess the Bookworm, and I'm here to tell you that you can learn a lot about someone by looking at their bookshelf. I've been a reader as long as I could read, from like 4 or 5. And throughout my school days, I read purely for fun. I would have read probably the Hardy Boys series, Nancy Drew, Famous Five, that type of book, all into adventure. And then when I got into secondary school, my interest would have changed to romance and Daniel Steele, Jackie Collins, that type of thing. I still read for fun sometimes, but for the majority of my reading pleasure, it's for information. And if you look at my bookshelf, you can read about my entire life. Now, in my young adult life, I was a Michelle McKinney Hammond fan, and I've got a whole lot of books by her. Here is Why Do I Say Yes When I Want to Say No? I found I was quite a people pleaser and I needed some help. And this book is saying, why is temptation always so enticing? Why do we still battle with desires we thought we had conquered? How do we gain victory over the struggle? So I stuck to Michelle Hammond. She gave some wonderful insights, and because I enjoy one book by an author, I kind of become loyal to the author, and I started to buy a whole host of Michelle books. And you can see what I was going through in this time of my life. Some other books that I had read with Michelle was Sassy, Single, and Satisfied, because I was not in a relationship and I wanted to be comfortable with my singleness. This book says, in the world of blind dates, countless bridesmaid dresses, and weekly interrogations from Aunt Mary, are you struggling to find the pleasures of being single? Forgotten the privilege of being where you are right now? It's time to realize your primary purpose for existence, being fabulously you. This book I found was great, and of course I loved Michelle. And then I went into this one, Secrets of an Irresistible Woman, again by Michelle Hammond. And this says, if you're among those who find themselves a bit confused about how this thing called love is supposed to work and who's supposed to do what in the relationship, don't fret. So even though I was doing all this about enjoying my singleness, I really wanted to not be single. So here we have Ending the Search for Mr. Right, again by Michelle Hammond. She is one of my absolute favorite authors. And like I said, I have a lot of books by her. This, if you look through my bookshelf, you can see, okay, she wants to enjoy being single. She wants to find Mr. Right. Now we started dating and things didn't always go as planned. So here we have What Becomes of the Brokenhearted, because sometimes those relationships end. And it says, it's time to let the process of healing begin. So I had to get some healing, and then I was in a relationship and I was kind of confused. I thought the guy was secretly gay. I wasn't sure. So I got this book. This is by Brenda Stone Broder, and it's called On the Up and Up. Yes, actually, when I was reading this book, I took the dust jacket off because I didn't want anyone to know what I was reading. But it says, a survival guide for women living with men on the down low. Now, I wasn't living with a man on the down low, but I wanted to know what were the telltale signs to look for, because you can never be too sure. So this one was a wonderful read. And then I got married and my books changed. Here I went to Betty Mouse, and this book is Making Your Husband Feel Loved, because sometimes in a marriage you get struggles, you get confused, and you want to think about yourself. And I didn't want to be that kind of a wife. So I went to what I knew best, reading to get answers to any problems I may have had. There are lots of other books I have on marriage, about being a good wife and about being in a good relationship. And then my attention turned to children. So my books changed again. If you look through my bookshelf, you would see my books were about pregnancy, parenting, mother, baby, having a perfect body, everything that I could think of to having a good life. Then I went into the love of Max Lucado. I love Max Lucado. I read one book by him and it fell into a lot. They're all Max Lucado books. So my bookcase, like yours, tells the tale of my life. I'm now reading this book by Max Lucado, 6 Hours One Friday. I've read it before, but we just came out of Easter season and I wanted to remember what it's been like to endure what our Savior endured and to get that feeling of gratitude. And this book, it says, when a hurricane strikes, good sailors know to anchor deep. This book has been great, so I've been reading it over again, of course, because I also want to hit my goals of one book a month. But I've decided that I am going to try some new books. I have lots and lots of books, and I'm sure I've read them all, and I want to try some new books. So I am going to go hunting to find myself a new book. Well, I did all my book shopping and I'm about to head home. I went to 2 different bookstores and I did make an order on Amazon as well. I'm really excited to start reading these books and sharing them with you. I don't think you can even guess the one I actually bought. I bought a couple of them and I'm really happy because, like I said, my taste in books now has changed. It's now about information, what I'm going through, the stage of life I'm at. So that's the next book that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to complete this one I'm reading now by Max Lucado. I'll give a little review on that in the next video, and then we will start on a new book and we'll share all about it. Remember that if you want to learn more, you want to be educated, you want to evolve and to speak better, reading is important. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.